Hello everyone! I hope you guys can see me. Me. Yeah, hello and welcome everyone to today's AmA with Northgard developers, Shiro Games. Some of you might already know me from Discord or the last AmA, but for those of you who don't, my name is Weihnachtsmann, Alex, Agrathan, whatever you prefer really. And to my left, and I guess your right, we have Shiro Games Alethleon. Introduce
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. So I am the new community manager for Shiro Games, taking over from the fantastic Brioche, who is now moving on to more like he's working with partners and things like that. So I am now working with you lovely guys. So here I am.
Yeah. Welcome to the community, man.
Thank you.
Hope you have a great
Thanks
time.
for having me.
So I guess we can talk over today's agenda a little tiny bit. First off, we have a few questions about Ragnarok in general, and as you can see, just like last time, we're going over some of the most important categories that have been suggested or registered from you guys. And without further ado, I think we should start with the first category being Ragnarok.
Sounds good.
So, yeah. So the first question is, will there be some special victory conditions like Yggdrasil in the Ragnarok maps?
Yeah, it is something that we are working on. No information to give away on that yet, but it's definitely something that is coming in the future.
Okay, that's good to hear. So, do you have input or that you can throw out now? If all of the normal Northgard map victory conditions are going to be transported, or nothing concrete on that yet?
Nothing concrete on that just yet.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Sounds good to me. So, why there are two special objective symbols on the tile with volcano on the Ragnarok recapitulation map?
That is a bug that we are going to fix. So yeah, that's just a bug.
Okay, fair enough. So that's the short answer then. Nice. So third and already last question of this chapter is, why did you decide to make the new update Ragnarok themed? Ragnarok is supposed to be the last event in history. I think it would have been awesome if you had made some realm themed updates at first, such as Muspelheim and Alfheim.
So yeah, I mean, it was obviously there was a lot of things kicked around before we decided upon Ragnarok, but when we knuckled down, and Ragnarok seemed like the coolest thing to make things for, and it's what we had like real fun actually developing. So it was that was the clear winner basically. Obviously, it's also one of the more known events. So
yeah, that is true. Like, I mean, on the one hand, it would have been cool to have something else, like some other realm.
yeah.
But yeah, Ragnarok is most definitely the most well-known, along someone that's not particularly well-versed in Northern mythology.
Yeah, exactly.
And just for you guys, is my mic better now? Like, I read somewhere that my mic is a little bit low. I can also talk louder if that helps. Yeah. Moving on to the next category, because that was actually the 3 questions we had for that. So, general things. Are there any plans on making military more appealing for more neutral factions like the Goat and Boar clan?
So obviously, it's kind of a design choice that we want some clans to be like more well versed in other things. So like these clans in particular, obviously, we want to keep their focus like not totally on military. We don't want everything just to become one big military fest, basically.
Yeah.
So we are like quite happy with the way that they are, but there is obviously things coming in the future that will obviously give them a bonus and like up their potential as well.
Okay, yeah. So I think maybe some of the background for this question was, maybe, don't quote me on this, that some people who are not very, well, maybe just learning a clan feel a little bit lost when they're suddenly getting attacked by like millions of soldiers. And some clans don't really offer that much protection if you are maybe, yeah, newer to the game. But yeah, that's just a thought. Okay. Will you buff Raven?
Well, so clan balance is always changing, so we're not committing to buffing them at all, but like we obviously constantly evaluating. If we feel like things need changed, then obviously we will balance things in the future. But like we'll see.
Okay, great. And thanks for reminding me that there's no Svafnir symbol. There's Svafnir now, even with the little text. There you have Svafnir. Sorry for that. Hold on. There it got its own special place now. Okay. Will there be certain animals in other clans like Kaija, the Armored Bear, in Bear Clan?
Yes, there definitely will. But you'll have to wait for more information on that.
Okay, great, yeah.
But yes.
That would be really cool to see. I think we had a similar question last time where someone was asking if every clan is going to get a specific animal, like their spirit animal, so to speak, stag with tuner and stuff like that. Cool. Next question then is this one. Will there be a clan that is based around the gameplay of befriending neutral factions?
Yes, as well. But again, you're gonna have to wait for more information on that.
Okay, cool. But I mean, it's good to hear that there's.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's not a no, so to speak, right? So.
Nope, it's something that is definitely going to be a thing, but we'll have more information on that in the future.
That's definitely going to be cool though, like, because if that works with, yeah, I'm not going to theorycraft that right now because, yeah, okay, I'll stop. Moving on. Can we have a defensive building where the civilians can hide during an attack?
So it's actually something that we are looking into. We think that that will be a really cool feature. However, we don't want it to just be like an automatic thing, because we feel that it would take away, like the events would no longer be relevant. So we want something whereby like it's possible that we could do something like a bunker where you can then assign your workers to go hide, but having something automatically is not something that we would like to do, and we'd still like to keep the player having to actually maneuver the units into the defensive structure or something, but it is something that we are definitely looking into.
Actually, the thing being automatic would also kind of make it abusable by your enemy, because if you have villagers in that tile that are gathering resources, and he keeps just sending in and out units, that could potentially lead to some losses in terms of economy.
Yeah, and if you're like, it's just there's too many problems with having it automatic, and it takes away from like the actual the player, the way that we want people to play the game.
Cool. What I was thinking while I read this question first was maybe you don't even have to introduce a new building. Maybe just use a tower, because I mean that building is already there, and
that's something that we are definitely looking into, like hiding like units inside a tower and like giving some kind of bonus to the tower kind of thing. It's like it is something that we are definitely investigating the potential of.
Cool. All right. So coming to the next question in this category is: can you look into sailors not getting sick while they're out sailing? Red infestation being the exception here.
Yep, we're on it. It's we're aware of it and we're looking into it for sure.
I was actually not either aware of that until I think, I don't know if Gakiman suggested this question, but he definitely talked about it in the Discord, and yeah, I was not aware of that at all. But yeah.
Yeah, something that we're investigating.
Cool. Good to hear. So this is more of a gameplay-based question. Is there any advice what to do against mercenaries from Raven?
Upgrade your towers, and a few warriors.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that would be what I would do. Just build towers in your coastal tiles.
Yep.
But I think nowadays on Ragnarok, it's not that easy to deal with the Blood Moon and shit. I think. Sorry, I shouldn't say that, but the Blood Moon makes the mercenaries pretty damn hard to deal with, I feel like. Right?
Yeah, it can do. So, yeah, but I mean, just gotta
adapt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice. Everyone's still learning the best ways of
yeah.
So.
Cool. So, don't you feel that Goat is looking weak with decent bonuses but no real strength to leverage such as Boar's economy, Raven's happiness, or Snake's harass potential?
Yeah, again, kind of similar to the earlier question. So, like, plan balance is something that we are always monitoring, and we're always like keeping an eye on. So, if we do feel that anyone is lagging behind, then like there are potential for changes, but it's something that is constantly adapting, and we're constantly making small tweaks and changes, like all the time, basically.
Okay, cool. Do you like in terms of win ratio and stuff like that? Are there statistics about that? Like what clans are winning more often or less, or being played?
There are some statistics that we have access to. Not everything.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Okay. So there are some campaign enemies like fire and undead Jotuns, or that giant ice worm. Do you plan to integrate them into the custom games? And I guess that means single player or multiplayer.
So, no, there's no intention of doing this. Like, we want some like special like enemies from the campaign to feel special in the campaign. So, like, there are certain things in the campaign that we want to keep for like the campaign experience. So they'll never come to the wider game. Basically, they'll remain like a special part of the campaign.
Cool. All right. Yeah, that makes sense. So it kind of feels special to defeat that enemy in the campaign, and not having this all over repeating thing. Like
exactly. It kind of like if you're defeating like ice worms left, right, and center in multiplayer, then it kind of takes away from the accomplishment that you get from the campaign.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, totally. So, is there any chance, I guess, for a LAN option to play it offline?
So we're not really sure particularly why it's needed. I mean, you already have the feature to play with your friends. Obviously, we can like. So yeah, at the moment, it's not something that we're looking into, but yeah, we're not really sure what the real value of that option would be.
I guess what that's coming from is. Like, we used to play Age of Empires and games like that on LAN parties, and I guess that's the approach here behind the question, maybe. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's something that we can look into if we think that there is enough demand for it. But I mean, up until this question, I'd never heard anyone else making a request for it. So, I guess if there's enough of a demand, then we can like see if it's something that we'd be able to accommodate.
Okay, nice. Good to hear. So, any plans to add barriers? Think about wooden spikes, etc.
So yeah, again, similar to the watchtower and the defensive buildings kind of thing. It's something that we are looking into. We do think that there would be some interesting mechanics potentially with like more defensive structures and things. So it is something that we are investigating the possibility of.
Cool. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Like also that would vary a lot in terms of the random map generation. Like when you have like big what are they called? Like the mountain ranges blocking off the tiles.
Yeah.
Strategically placing those would be pretty interesting. Cool.
Yeah. Obviously, there's a lot of things that we have to take into account. So it's something that is just being investigated at the moment. There's no it's not a certain thing that it will come, but it's definitely an interesting option.
Yeah.
It could add a lot more different ways to play as well. So
yeah, it would make domination pretty difficult at times, though, probably.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean that's the reason behind it, I guess. So, will there be a waypoint from town halls so newly generated villages would go to the area we wish?
It is something that we are looking into, but at the moment we don't really have any concrete information on. But it's something that we are looking into. We like the idea, and it's something we're looking into to see if it's something that we can actually make work.
So kind of like the war chief rally thing, that when you make new soldiers, that they automatically run to your war chief.
Yeah, exactly. Or just having a separate building whereby you can have additional units from and stuff.
Oh, or that, yeah, that works as well. So this is more of a technical question. How are the bonuses stacked? Is it multiplicative or additive? Stacks eradication, great deeds, beers 200 fame bonus, recruitment, and tunnel, and a lot of other things.
Yeah, so it actually depends upon it basically depends. So military upgrades, for example, are additive, whereas most resource gathering and things like that they tend to be multiplicative. Yeah. So it basically all depends on which bonus it is.
Yeah, I guess something like what's it called? Great deeds would be multiplicative, I guess.
Yeah.
And something that's just a flat bonus that would be additive, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess maybe the question is if you have a static bonus and then get a multiplicative, like a percent bonus on that. Maybe the question is beyond that. Like if the entire value gets multiplied by the percent value, or just the base value. Maybe, I don't know.
I'm not 100% certain. So not really sure about that one. We need to look into that.
Oh, okay. Sure.
That's one of the ones, like, for that kind of thing, that's one of the ones I'll have to ask the dev guys about.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Yeah, and another question out of that wheelhouse is, how are the numbers in the game rounded?
So basically, depending on so they're either rounded up or down, depending upon so if it's like 1.6, it'll be rounded up, 1.4 will be rounded down, basically.
Okay, are you still getting like the full amount, or is it just well, yeah, just do you get the full amount, like 1.6, or do you get a 2?
So you'll get the actual amount, but it's just rounded for like display's sake.
Oh, okay. Cool. Nice. I think that was the last question we have of this category. Moving on to combat. So, will there be more abilities, like more active abilities like Warcry or Scorched Earth, I believe?
So, like for military paths, we're going to be introducing more things in military paths and things like that. So there's going to be more actual abilities for units as well. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that sounds great. That would be pretty cool to have a more broad variety to choose from.
Yeah, for sure.
So, is naval combat going to be a thing?
So it's one of those things that we've looked into a few times, but it's not on the cards right now. But we are still. It's one of them ones that we keep revisiting, but it's not. It's not something that's in the near future or anything like that. It's basically something that we keep looking into. It's always on the. It's always on the on the cards, but at the moment we haven't found a way to introduce it that is satisfying.
Yeah, I think Brioche, we had a similar question the last time, and I think what he said last time was that you guys were having trouble to finding an actual purpose for naval combat. Like, why would it be introduced, and yeah, why should it be there? Yeah,
exactly.
So I guess
there's obviously every time we think we have a reason for it, there's obviously multiple other times whereby it's why have it? What benefit do you actually get from it?
Yeah, that makes sense. So I guess moving on to the next one. Are any other micro-related features planned? Build hotkeys, ability to deselect individual units when in a control group, etc.
So we don't want the game to become all about APM, but there will be improvement in the hotkey system and the selection of units and things like that. But we don't want everything to be about who has the highest APM, basically. So
yeah,
there are going to be improvements and a better hotkey system, but we're not going to have it so that you have to be able to have a crazy high APM to be competitive.
Yeah, no. I mean, I guess that's been a big part of the game, to have a very good macro system, macro gameplay, that your economy is well placed, so winner and other variables, not variables, but variables. The thing, no, I don't know the word. Doesn't matter. Yeah, that you're set in stone for that. Cool. This one. Will you consider adding more unique military units?
Yeah, for sure. And there's going to be another one coming fairly soon, but you'll have to wait to find out what that is.
Yes, sure. I'll do so.
But yes, there will be more unique military units for sure.
Unique military units, are you specifically talking about unique military units for specific clans, or unique military units in terms of what? Or
that's what you're going to have to wait and find out.
Damn.
That's
okay.
that's the question.
Okay, I guess we'll do that then. So, are you going to make combat units more complex? They feel too simplistic at the moment.
So I mean, everything that we do is it's always evolving. But we kind of we don't want to take away from the way that the game is. We want the game to remain itself, and we don't want it to change, basically. So we're basically trying to keep the feel of the game, but obviously we will introduce improvements and things that we feel are necessary.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
But we don't really want to take away from the identity of what we think makes Northgard.
Yeah, I mean, and you shouldn't, because the game is amazing. So, will you introduce siege units or buildings for breaking towers or even tiles?
So it's something that isn't currently it's something that we haven't currently looked into, but it could be interesting for the future. But there hasn't been any real investigation into anything like that. It requires a lot more investigation on our behalf to say whether it would work or wouldn't, but we'll see.
Yeah, I guess that will also make more sense once specific buildings like wooden spike walls or something like that, palisades maybe, come into play. So you actually have to deal with this question: how do I want to approach the enemy base? because there's more to it than just the tile and maybe a tower.
Yeah, exactly. Obviously, somewhere down the line it could happen, but right now we don't feel like they would fit in the game, and we don't really see a benefit for that kind of unit right now.
Yeah, no, I totally see that. Does the units, do the units have unique attack speed? If so, is the attack damage labeled on the unit's information regarding its attack speed?
So each unit has like a DPS stat. The attack speed doesn't affect attack damage. So like each unit has a specific DPS. So basically.
So the damage that is displayed is the DPS then, or is that the damage per hit? Okay, DPS. Okay, right, gotcha. Yeah. So yeah, that's not in relation to the any single attack. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's everything from combat then. To the next category, personally my favorite actually, is neutral factions. And the first question is, what are the factors that may affect the Northgard natives' attack rate?
Yeah, so one second. Yeah, so it basically depends upon like the frequency that you've been attacked previously, and your proximity to the actual the enemy, basically.
The enemy meaning
the neutral faction, or
okay.
So
does that also what does proximity mean in this regard? Because you can only be attacked by something if you're directly next to it.
Yeah. So hold on a second. That is something that I'll have to get back to you on, actually.
Okay.
I don't think we have. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no worries. I mean, it's totally cool. I was just wondering what that proximity meant. Okay. So, next question is, why did you decide to name the new faction Mir Kalfar? As Wikipedia says, this name is used to describe dwarves who live in Svartalfheim.
Yeah, and I'm fairly sure you know part of the answer to this. I think you know this answer, so take it away.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I can totally answer this question, and that is mostly because in northern mythology there is always spoken about a certain amount of worlds or realms, and 8 of those 9 realms that is spoken of are fairly how do I say this? Like the same. 8 of them are always mentioned. But one of them varies, and the most often named that come after those 8 others is, for one's Svartalfheim and Nidavellir. And Svartalfheim is home to a race that is, as we see in the game, some sort of a dark elf creature. And Nidavellir is housing dwarves. And there is the hypothesis that maybe throughout time the view on this shifted, and both of those worlds are describing the same creature. So that's why you might be thinking that Mir Kalfar is meaning a dwarf, or the other way around.
Yeah, and just as an additional point on top of that, so we actually did look at the potential of using dwarves, but with the art style of Northgard, like the animations didn't look very good at all. Like the proportions were all just didn't look very. It didn't look very good at all. So that's why we went for the dark elf instead. To look as they do.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, that was one of my favorite questions, by the way, if you couldn't tell. Cool.
It's a great question.
It's a great question, definitely. Also to the Merkalfar, in my opinion, the Dark Elves are too strong.
Yeah, I mean they're meant to be tough, so like they're like we're fairly happy with how they are. So obviously, if we feel that they need to be balanced, but they're meant to be tough, basically.
Okay.
The
cool,
the whole point was that they're meant to like they're not meant to be easy to deal with. So.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's definitely what they are. They are definitely tough enemies. Yeah, that is true. All right. So, will you guys address Ragnarok kobolds because they can end your game if they spawn 2 or 3 tiles away from your town hall? Any ideas how to solve this issue?
So it's something that we are actually looking into, and like we'll we're basically evaluating whether we think they need to be changed or not. But it's something that we are actually investigating.
Okay. Yeah, because I felt personally that if you are in a situation where you have kobolds on your side of the map and the enemy has Jotnar, for example, you have to deal with this threat much more frequently than the Jotnar that just blocking a tile, basically.
Mm-hmm.
I guess this is where this is coming from. But yeah, okay, sure. You said you guys are going to look into it.
Yeah, it's something that we are looking into. Obviously, I mean, like we need to see whether the benefits of getting the XP from the kobolds balance for like with the frequency that they spawn. But obviously, we are investigating various different like whether we think it's too powerful or not. Or it's something that we are monitoring at the moment.
Cool. So, will we see more natural factions? By that I mean animals like a boar. Wolves and bears are nice, but variety would be really nice too. Sure.
Yeah, it is something that we are working on. So there will be
technically
more information coming. But yeah, we are looking at
there's only so much you can do though with nature being set in this specific environment, so to speak, right? Because you wouldn't be able to put something like an elephant there, for example. Like it needs to be something worth mentioning, so that maybe fits into this a little bit better.
Yeah, that's what we're like. Obviously, that's the ideas that we're kind of working around. So we're trying to find something that fits with the aesthetic, but has a reason to be there.
Yeah. Cool. In team games, you can gift your ally a tile. For single player, maybe multiplayer too, could we have an option to turn the tile back to neutral?
So it's something that we'd never really thought about, but I mean, we can look into it. We'd never really, I mean, what would be the reason behind it? Is it just to get around the increased cost of colonizing?
I mean, yeah, but the thing is, would you get the food back, or how would that work? I mean,
exactly. That's the things that we need to look into, and it's something that's basically it kind of at the moment it's not something on the cards because you'd run into more like I mean, what stops you from taking away everything useful from a tile and then just getting rid of it and getting everything back kind of thing. So I mean, we're looking into it, but I mean, up until we can look into it, but up until we'd seen this question, it never really came.
I mean, I wouldn't like if you were able to do that. I don't think you should get everything back that you invested because, I don't know. That feels kind of counterintuitive to the actual game, like where economy is your main goal to keep track of. Technically. Yeah,
exactly. It kind of feels like it would, I mean, so there's definitely a lot of. If it was something that we decided to go ahead and actually implement, there'd have to be a lot of refining to the idea, and obviously a valid reason to want to do it.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Currently, whoever is closer to the kobolds is at a much greater disadvantage than the player closer to the Jotnar. Can we revert back to a more fair setup where all neutral factions are equally dangerous or useful? So yeah, basically what I was going to
going over. It's exactly what we were saying before. So it's something that we are obviously monitoring, and if we feel that it does need to be changed, then it's something that we can balance sometime in the future.
So, talking about this dangerous or useful, is there like thoughts about neutral? Now I'm saying it too. Neutral factions that actually try to help you in any way, like not immediately try to attack you like the kobolds are if they try to conquer your tiles.
There may be something like that sometime in the future. But I mean, it's something that we are looking into for sure. It would add an interesting feature, I think.
Yeah, I mean that would kind of feel something like the Jotnars, where you trade them food, and they and once you reach the certain threshold, they you can recruit Blaine, or I don't know how he's pronounced, but that man. But yeah, maybe something like that.
Yeah, it's something that's definitely an interesting idea to expand upon further. But yeah, obviously at the moment we don't have anything concrete just yet.
Cool. Why did you reduce the number of Jotuns in their tile? They are very easy to annihilate now. Oh, there's an item.
As far as I'm aware, we didn't. The number should be still based on the size of the tile and the difficulty that you're playing on.
Yeah. Maybe it just depends.
If that's not the case, then that's possibly a bug. But it should still be the same as it was, whereby depending on what difficulty you're playing on and the size of the tile itself, it should be a.
So depending on how many building slots the tile has, or what does size of the okay. Yeah, I mean, haven't noticed much of a difference personally.
If it is obviously significantly different, then it's possibly a bug and something that we need to take a look into.
Yeah. Okay, so people are saying apparently they are less. At least Mr. Tamer is saying that. Maybe. Yeah, mostly getting 2 instead of 3. But yeah, maybe that is a bug, or maybe yeah, I don't know.
In that case, we'll take a look and see what could have gone on there.
Cool. So, neutral factions in the game, we can face cursed Valkyries. Will the players get a chance to meet true Valkyries who were not corrupted?
So at the moment, that's not something that we've looked into, so it's currently not on the cards right now. Obviously, anything can change down the line, but for right now, that's probably a no.
Okay. So the next question: what are the best map settings for finding Vedrfolnir?
Can be found on any map, so there's no secret code to find it, basically.
Yeah. I was thinking that it's just random if you get it or not.
Yeah, exactly.
Like similar to Thor's Wrath or the Geyser.
There's no map setting that it's not available on or anything like that. So it's just a random chance.
Would it be more how do I say this? More likely to get it on a huge map, as there are obviously more tiles?
Not necessarily. I mean, like it's just purely like random, basically.
Okay, cool. All right. So neutral factions are done now, as far as I'm aware. Yes. So we have one question about the world events.
Okay.
And there is, will we get new world events for standard Northgard maps? You can add a lot of them, like Fimble, Winter, Crop Failure, Sea Storm, effects on sailors and Raven Clans, mercenaries, and etc.
Yeah, it's totally something that we are working on. So there will be additional events and stuff on like the standard maps. There's definitely going to be additional ones.
Okay, nice.
We're not going to say just yet as to what they are, but there will definitely be new events.
Cool. All right. Yeah, as I said, that was the only world event related question. Going forth to victory conditions. I like that the development team acknowledged that trade victory needed to be fixed, but it's still not quite there. Any plans on further tweaking win conditions, particularly trade?
Yeah, there's definitely plans to basically adjust further trade conditions and stuff. There will be much more information coming about that fairly soon.
Cool. Like to hear it, especially because I feel like I just like the trade victory, but yeah, in this game it feels a little bit too, yeah. Sometimes it's not as rewarding as you would think, maybe, or expect rather.
Yeah, for sure. There's definitely things that can be improved upon. So it's most certainly something that we are actively working on and basically looking to improve.
Cool. So, do you plan some new special victory conditions, and do you already have some ideas?
Yes, there are going to be small special victory conditions, and yes, we do have quite a few ideas, and I'm afraid you're going to have to wait for further information on that. So it is, yeah, but yeah, we definitely have additional victory conditions and some pretty good ideas. So, or at least we think they're pretty good ideas.
Are some of those ideas more precise than others, and thusly going to be added in the closer future than others, or like other?
Potentially, yeah. I can say that. Yeah, there are a few definitely that are more developed than others. So
cool. Yeah, I would like to see a new one. Okay, nice. Yeah, I guess the victory conditions is done now as well. Moving on to the Northgard trials, rather the ranked system. So, I think the ranked system is pretty abusable right now because you can just give MMR, or in this case glory points, to a friend by creating a game with him or her and lose on purpose. Are you going to look into that?
Yeah, it is something that we are obviously monitoring and looking into. It's quite a complex issue. Obviously, basically a lot of online games that have a system like that experience win trading and things like that. So it is something that we are aware of and we're looking into. So yeah, it's something that we're actively monitoring and seeing what we can do.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that sounds good. Always feels kind of meh if just some people are like abusing the system to get more points than you.
Yeah, for sure. Totally agree.
So, can you arrange a matchmaking system for ranked games that takes the rank of both opponents into consideration and determines the glory points lost or gained based on that?
Yeah, it's something that we are looking into as well. Like it's obviously there's quite a lot of things around the system that we are actively investigating and seeing what can be improved upon and stuff like that. So it's something that we are looking at the moment.
Okay, so yeah, that higher level players cannot just farm, I don't know, wooden players or stone players in order to gain just maybe few amounts of points, but I mean they still get points, and the difference between like a gold player and a wood or storm player can be quite significant.
Yeah.
As in every game, basically. But yeah.
Yeah, it's something that we're definitely aware of, and we're trying to find the best solution for. But obviously, it's quite a complex issue to resolve. So there's a lot of obviously internal discussion and a lot of sort of trial and error to try and come up with a solution that actually like fixes things without creating more problem.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. So, is it possible to not count glory points when a game stops after a few minutes due to a lever or an AFK player?
Yeah, this is something that we know how frustrating it can be, so we're definitely looking into this possibility and like to implement some kind of solution for that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's fair, yeah.
Because yeah, we know that obviously if someone leaves straight off, then it's not a good experience. So
yeah,
we're definitely looking.
The thing is though, like if you keep playing this game and for some reason you still manage to win that game, that feels really good. But the occasion happening, like the amount of times happening, is very low. But yeah, I guess.
Yeah, it's one of those things whereby obviously they're like you say, it can feel great when you actually manage to pull out a victory, but there is other times it just kind of feels like you're sliding towards an inevitable defeat that you could have basically avoided playing a 20-odd minute game for, kind of thing.
Yeah, I guess the next question plays into this very well. It's very frustrating if people are leaving in a team game. Can you add some function or option to avoid this by voting for surrender in the first year?
Yeah, that's obviously exactly is what we just covered there. So it's something that we are actively looking into, the possibility of some kind of solution for that.
Cool. All right then. Is there any plans to implement some kind of balanced map for FFA as well, where all players start with a few given tiles in close proximity to them?
It's not something that we've actually thought about, but it's something that we can definitely look into. But at the moment, it hasn't been something that we've looked at.
Okay, so I actually have not played FFA that much, and I don't even know about the balanced map settings that are for everything else but FFA then, or I personally don't know that on the top of my head.
Yeah, 1 second. Yeah, I'm not 100% certain myself, actually.
Okay, I guess that doesn't matter then, but yeah. Okay. Technical issues. Not a lot of them this time.
That's always good.
Will the UI ever have scaling feature in the future? Playing on different resolutions and not being able to adjust the UI so it looks the same is annoying.
Yeah, it is something that we are taking a look at. So there's no concrete information on it just yet, but it's something that we're into, basically.
Cool. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, sure. Neat. Wait, where did this change back? So, will there be other servers beyond the EU?
So we already have an NA server as well. So there already is.
Oh, wait, so what servers are there? EU and?
There's EU and North America.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, I think I've seen the question in chat, I don't know, if there's going to be Asian servers too.
It's something that we're obviously always looking into, but it's something on the cards. But again, like there's a lot of factors behind introducing new servers and stuff. So at the moment, it's just the two for now.
Okay. think something with the connection is not right. Let me see if that is on my end. Because you keep stuttering sometimes. I guess I'll look into it if it gets worse.
Okay.
So, will you please improve performance of the Snake Clan's fire burn ability, the Scorched Earth? The transition from winter to summer is also quite stuttery.
Yeah, this is something that we're aware of and we're working on at the moment. We're hopefully going to have a fix for it fairly soon. And we're looking at these issues.
So, could you add something to change the resolution?
I think we've just touched on that. Was it?
I think no. The other one was what was it? The other one
was
was
the UI scaling.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So again, we're still looking into like all of that kind of stuff. So it's something that we're constantly looking to improve on those areas, but they're obviously they're not easy fixes, basically.
Okay, yeah. So, can you please fix up the chat filter? It's absolutely broken, it blocks too many words, most of them are not even remotely offensive. As for now, players are not even able to communicate properly.
Yeah, we're actually working on that, and we're also going to obviously add a feature as well to completely disable the filter as well.
Yeah, okay.
So it's something that we are working on. We're obviously looking to improve the filter itself, and obviously we're going to give an option to actually just completely disable the filter if you want to.
Yeah, okay, nice. Yeah, that seems great. Because at some point, it's really weird if you're trying to tell your team that you're going for a domination victory but can't actually say the word.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely a few things in there that don't really need to be in there. But obviously, like when you add, basically when things get added, you just add a huge list, and then you go through and remove certain things when you realize that it shouldn't be in there. So it's a constantly evolving, like filter basically. But obviously, there's definitely things in there that don't need to be in there, and actively prevent you from being able to communicate, like you say.
Yeah, sure. Cool. So I guess that was actually everything from technical issues. And now we're coming to questions that I could personally not place in any other category. Miscellaneous. With the next coming clan, will we have more clans than colors? No, wait. With the next coming clan, we will have more clans than colors. Will we get new colors?
So at the moment, it's not something that we are looking into. It's actually a lot more complex than you would think to add a new color, and we're not totally sure whether it's needed completely. So at the moment, it's not.
Is that actually
on
true?
The cards? But
don't you have? Wait, is that actually true? I mean, we have 7 clans, right? And with I mean, we're 4v4. I mean, then we would have exactly. Okay, I guess. I guess we're still one off then, one clan.
Yeah,
off.
if it's not, then it's definitely getting close. So it's something that obviously.
Okay.
But no, at the moment we're not looking into it. At the moment, we don't think it's totally necessary.
Cool. That's that then. Will there ever be a map editor?
It's something that we are looking into. Obviously, there are a lot of implications around it. So it's obviously it's not going to happen anytime soon, but it's something that we're investigating the possibility of, things like that. But it's obviously there's a lot of problems and a lot of like issues that we have to get around first before it's something that we can even remotely consider adding to the game, basically.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So, what about fjords instead of those rocky cliffs? They could be used to divide between tiles on the outer map. parts of the map, of course. Instead of cliffs and mountain range of rocks that currently divides up the entire map as it is. Think Iceland, just like Norway.
So it's not something that is like obviously currently in development, but it's actually quite a nice idea, and it could add like obviously a few nice touches to the map. So as a basically as a replacement for the mountain tiles and things like that, it's obviously something that we can totally look into.
Technically, it would
an
open
interesting suggestion.
It would open the possibility as well to have some sort of mechanics based on those fjords. Because obviously, a fjord can be used for more than just being there, especially for a Viking with ships and stuff. Yeah, that would be kind of cool if we got that kind of feature.
Yeah, it's something that is like obviously it's something that we're always looking into and things like that. So we'll see.
Cool. Are you going to implement a cosmetic-based in-game shop to purchase a wide variety of aesthetic items? As an example, customizable war chief weapons and armor, wooden totems, or even building skins.
At the moment, it's not something that's on the cards or anything like that. We're like quite happy with the way that the monetization of the game is and things like that. So we're not really looking into anything like that just now. We like obviously it feels kind of the game wasn't developed with that in mind. So to add it now, we don't really feel that it's totally necessary just yet. Like it's not something that we've really looked at.
Okay, yeah. So okay, yeah, sure. Will the Draugr become a playable faction? And will there be other playable factions besides Vikings?
It's something that we are looking into. Obviously, not anything gonna happen in the near future, but it's like we're looking into other like types of faction and things like that, but not just yet.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I would actually like the idea to play something that is not a Viking, even though that is the whole purpose of the game. But
yeah,
would be nice if
something that we've tied with like various different like internally we've discussed various different things, but we want to have something whereby it makes sense, rather than just having something just for the sake of having something different.
Yeah, I guess
one that they kind of fit in and actually for it to be a reason.
Yeah, that makes sense. Do you plan on adding the option to save a multiplayer game?
It's not something that is on the cards right now. But I mean, we can look into the possibility of it, but right now it's not. There's nothing like that for now.
I guess okay. Good. I think now we come to the last category, which has quite a few questions. So development focus. Are you currently working on a more in-depth diplomacy system?
Yes, we are definitely working on a more in-depth diplomacy system. It's something that we're really interested in. So
cool. So this currently meaning that you're actually working on this?
It's definitely being looked into, and there's it's something.
Yeah, I would like to have a diplomacy system where it actually matters what I do with my enemies and stuff.
Yeah, we definitely want to expand upon what we currently have, and we're definitely working on some pretty cool ideas.
I mean, that would also open the gates for a new victory condition, possibly. I don't know what that would look like. I don't know, maybe get a certain reputation among all other clans, or I mean, all other clans would be weird because then one player could just say, no, not getting that. But maybe something along those lines. Cool.
Yeah, it's definitely something that we're planning on something in a future update for sure.
Cool. Very neat. So, when is the next clan going to be available?
Soon. We'll have more information in a few weeks' time.
Oh, so that is that soon? Okay, that is. I did not expect that, but I'm definitely happy to hear it now.
Yeah. So, we'll have more information about the new clan in a few weeks. So yeah, something to look forward to.
Does it possibly have scales, as the next question suggests? Maybe will you add a proper dragon unit into the game, and will it be a part of a dragon clan if such a clan was to come out?
I'm afraid that you're just gonna have to wait a couple of weeks to hear anything about potentially what it could be.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I guess that's acceptable. Okay. Is it possible that you make new game modes with more challenging PvE functions, or maybe just add the extreme difficulty level to the multiplayer that we have seen in the campaign?
It's something that we're actually looking into. There's no concrete development on it just yet, but we are investigating more challenging PvE functions, basically. Yeah. But we don't really have any concrete development on it just yet. But it's something that we're definitely looking into. We would like to have something more, but right now it's still just in the idea stage.
Yeah, I mean, I bet some players would also like to have some more difficulty in games. For some players, it can never be too difficult. But at first, in the beginning, where you're learning the game, as it is already pretty challenging, simply because the game's environment is something that is not usually something that you see in an RTS like this, or a strategy game mix, so to speak. So yeah, that would be definitely something for more advanced players to look into if that was to come out.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously, we don't want to throw off new players straight away, so it would definitely be something more for the experienced player. But we haven't really fleshed out the idea fully just yet. But it's something that we definitely do think would be a pretty cool feature. And obviously, it's something that if we can figure out a way of implementing it that we think will be fun, then it's something that we'll definitely look into doing.
Cool. Yeah, that sounds good to me. So, will Northgard ever support Steam Workshop mods?
We're looking into the possibility, but obviously, again, there is a lot of details that we have to go through to see if it's something that we can actually go for as well. So it's being investigated, but can't confirm or anything just yet.
Okay, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah.
But yeah, it's something that we're definitely investigating potential, because obviously there's a lot of very creative people, and it could be a really interesting feature. But we have to make sure that it fits in and it works. Basically, we have to be 100% certain about everything.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. Good. Are you going to add more specific god-related tiles, events, or literally anything else to the game concerned to gods?
So yeah, it's something that we're obviously working on. No exact information on what just yet, but obviously there will be more additional things released in the future, for sure.
So just more religious kind of things, yeah.
Yeah, so stuff relating to the various different gods and things like that. So
cool. Yeah, I like that. Hey, I've been actually thinking about the celestial beings being behind those behind the clans. like those playing maybe a role or something. But yeah, I guess we will have to see about that in the future.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's going to be the focus of your next big content patch? Just like for Ragnarok, it was, yeah, this new big map with new factors and factions.
So, we don't have any information to give out just yet, but we'll obviously, as soon as we have more news, we'll obviously let you know. But at the moment, we don't have anything to share on that just yet. We're keeping it close to our chest for now. Obviously, like Ragnarok has just come out, so
yeah,
we want to let you enjoy that first before teasing you with anything else.
That's good. Okay. Next question. Is there any sort of API planned where passionated? I guess that word. Never mind. Where passionated devs can work up statistics, e.g., for the leaderboards, ranking, progress, and overall performance.
At the moment, that's not something that we're looking into right now. So no, not for that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, fair enough. Will there be more DLCs?
Yes, there will be, and we'll have more information about that in a few weeks.
Cool. Are you planning on making even bigger maps? Some of us really have powerful computers.
No, huge maps already caused so many problems, so there is definitely no intention to go any bigger than that.
Yeah, I guess. Also, there will be kind of, yeah, weird for certain victory conditions to be achieved, like domination being the most prominent one.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it like there's so many issues with going even bigger. I mean, when do you stop if you keep going bigger?
Yeah, that's totally true. And I don't know if we will feature this. Okay, hold on a second. If we will feature this question today. Damn it, I had something in mind that I wanted to ask. Damn it, maybe it'll come back. Damn it. Okay. I guess we will have to stick to the schedule for now. Will we get a continuation of the campaign? Maybe co-op missions even?
So, we actually think like a co-op, so like some kind of co-op mode would be quite interesting. But it's again, like back to what we said earlier, we haven't figured out a way of actually making an engaging co-op mode just yet. But we would like to try and do something in the future, like some kind of co-op mode for sure. But obviously, it's in the very early stages, and we don't have any real concrete information. But it's something that we are definitely like looking into.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, that definitely sounds like a good idea. Co-op missions is like when I play single player games. I mean, it's always cool. Well, not always, but like there are single player games that that I do enjoy. But most of the time, I just find it cooler to play with at least one friend.
Yeah.
So like just to share the experience, and yeah, for this game, co-op missions would definitely be very cool.
Yeah, we definitely think that there's potential for having like some really interesting like things that you can do with like with a friend or so. But it's just we haven't narrowed down the idea to being what we want to do yet.
Yeah, I guess that makes total sense. Yeah, I would like to ask about the replay system and the post-game statistics. Are we gonna get them sometime in the future? Thanks.
It's still something that we're looking into, but right now we don't really have any information. on that. It's something that yeah, like we're looking into that kind of thing, but yeah, we're not sure.
Okay, so that is a feature that's being worked on, or is it just like you guys are looking into it, like if that, like in what way that is possible, or
It's currently not being worked on, but obviously we are. It's something that we're looking at, like at the possibility of.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because like it would be very cool to like to see at the end of the game, like how was the resource gameplay of the enemy? Like what did he do in the early game? Did he focus on certain things and stuff? Like there's a lot to learn from those statistics that you get at the end of the game. But
yeah, for sure. We can see why it would be like quite a useful tool, but it's obviously there's a lot of issues with trying to implement it in the correct way.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Cool. Can you talk a little bit about the game's future, specifically the monetization system?
So yeah, obviously the game was developed in a specific way. So at the moment, there's no plan to change the way that it's been previously. So we will continue to release some updates for free, and then there will be some paid DLC as well.
Okay, yeah. So basically,
but yeah, so continue as it's currently going, basically.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, free updates and
yeah. At the moment, we don't see any real reason to change that just yet. So yeah, it's just going to continue as is.
Okay, cool. How many developers are still working on Northgard? How long until the development of the game stops? And can we get a development roadmap to see what the plan is, at least?
So at the moment, the original team that worked on Northgard still all work on Northgard. There's no intention of changing that, and any other projects that like Shiro are taking on are all handled by new teams and stuff like that. So there's no plan to change the core team that have been working on Northgard, and there's no plan to stop development of the game anytime soon.
Yeah, that is very nice to hear. Even though I'm fairly stoked about what was the game called, Darksburg or something?
Darksburg, yeah.
Yeah, I'm probably stoked about that one too.
Yeah, so the original 10 development delay.
Cool. That is very good to hear indeed. So, are you going? Oh, I have to. Yeah. Are you going to implement an anti-cheat system?
So obviously on the dedicated servers there is already like a lot of cheat protection and stuff like that. So not really sure as to what the question is in reference to. Because the dedicated servers, there shouldn't be any cheats as such on there. And obviously if you do encounter anyone that is actually cheating, then we would appreciate you like letting us know. But yeah, for dedicated servers, we already have there already is cheat prevention in place.
Yeah, that's very cool. Are there plans for other multiplayer maps? Example, like you did with Ragnarok, maybe a glacial themed map. Oh, there.
That's something that we're looking into. At the moment, we don't have any exact concrete information, but we are looking for. There might be additional maps in the future.
Cool. I mean, in this what's it called? Like universe, the northern mythology. There's a lot of realms that could be explored, like we heard before, with Muspelheim, for example, being some kind of a fire plane, or yeah, so that would open quite a few doors to those to other themed maps. Maybe.
Yeah, there's lots of ideas that we have. There's a lot of, obviously, North mythology is full of really cool locations, so there's definitely a lot of potential for different things in the future.
Yeah, that would be very nice to see, at least like if there were other kind of themes, even though there already are like not as heavily, but like the normal different, what are they called, like the themes of the map, like the taiga, the autumn ones, you know what I mean, like when you host a game that you can change the appearance of the map.
Yeah.
So how long should a Northgard game last in Shiro's opinion?
So I guess the answer is as long as it takes, really. I mean, initially, like, we intended for it to take between 30 minutes and an hour or so. So yeah, we think that's a pretty good amount of time for a game.
Okay. But like now, being like introducing the Ragnarok map, I think some players are feeling that this is prolonging the game time quite a bit, as the environment on this map is even more punishing than on the other map, on the normal map. So I guess this, this map kind of prolonged the game duration by at least a year or something.
Yeah, I can see that as well. I mean, obviously, we feel that once players get a handle on all of the events, like start obviously playing, like to get the everything down again, it will reduce the amount of time that it is currently taking.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is slightly longer than what the base experience is.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. But yeah, so as that's intended, so I guess that's fine. Cool. I guess now we will come to the last question, at least the last playing question.
Mm-hmm.
I was not expecting to get through this that quickly, to be quite honest, but yeah, the last update was incredible. What can we expect in the future? You definitely set the bar high with Ragnarok.
We have a lot of really cool things coming. We can't really share anything right now, but we will have a lot more concrete information coming in the next few weeks.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're really pleased with how Ragnarok has been received and how it went. So there's a lot of things that we think are as cool as or even better than Ragnarok. So we definitely can't wait for you to see what we have in store. But yeah, it's going to be we're going to have a bit more information in a couple of weeks, and then obviously we'll have more information later on in the year as well.
Very nice. Yeah, I will be definitely looking forward to that a lot, because yeah, there can never be enough. And I guess as we got through this quite quickly, I think we can just take some questions from the audience if there are still questions that need answering. And I think I got one already before, and that was, will the next clan have a main resource like goat food, raven with crowns, or a special playstyle with a war chief? If that's something you can be... Yeah.
All will be revealed in a couple of weeks at a time.
Okay, yeah, I guess that...
Yeah, for sure.
Makes sense.
But yeah, like, expect more information around the new clan in a few weeks.
Cool, nice. Yeah, Little John, I noted that question before. From Falls TF, will a Warcry be changed? Yeah, I saw that question a lot, and I was wondering why that was not requested in the AMA sheet. But yeah, I think most players perceive Warcry to be a little bit too strong, and by little I mean a lot little.
Yeah. It's something that we are looking into. We have a couple of ideas for how to go about, like, even changing things, like just the potential of like switching the skills between in the tree. So make Warcry the last option, or like, yeah, just some kind of reduction in it in general. But yeah, we have heard that we've got a lot of reports that people feel that Warcry is almost an essential skill to take. So we're definitely looking at ways of basically trying to negate that.
Yeah, and also like balance all the military paths as well, right?
Yeah.
Like not only adjust Warcry. Cool.
Yeah, we're obviously military paths is still quite a new system, so we're obviously always looking for feedback and suggestions on whether it's working well or whether things need changed, or if there's any in particular that you feel is too powerful kind of thing. We're always looking for feedback, and so always feel free to drop it in the Discord. We do monitor it at all times.
So the best place to drop the feedback would be the game feedback channel then, I take it?
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Top much. Cool. I think I saw another question concerning Raven mercenaries and warchief cutting them around the tiles. I guess that's a way people have been dealing with mercenaries. Just place the warchief in the in the tile that's being attacked by the mercenaries, and then just run around the building. And let them get killed by the tower. Like if there's maybe if there's any thoughts on changing that or not, like maybe adding a ranged mercenary in there, or I don't know, maybe something like that.
Yeah, we're always looking into. I mean, obviously, we're always looking at the, let's say, unique ways that you guys are using to get around these problems or cause these problems. So we're always looking for ways to see what's happening and what's going on, and whether we need to adjust things and things like that. So obviously, if it becomes a problem, then we do have things that we could modify and change. So we're always looking to see what is going on and things like that.
Cool. Yeah, that sounds promising at least. And I mean, yeah, props to those players who are already doing that with the War Chief. I have seen a lot of questions or suggestions to give the Crazy Dentist some sort of love in terms of in-game things, as he has been one of the, I guess, the most well-known Northgard content creator that we have. And yeah, I guess people want to have something for him, with him.
Okay, I mean, I'm always happy to see if it's something that we can do. I mean, I can't commit to anything. I'm just a community guy, so
yeah,
I can relay the feedback to the people in charge and see if they agree that the dentist deserves some love.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to confirm anything for that. But we'll see what we can do. I'm sure we can sort something out.
Yeah, that would be very nice to give him something back for all the support. Okay, I guess what else can I see?
We always appreciate the dentist.
We do.
He's watched often in this office.
I think I've seen something about the spectator mode. Is this? I mean, I think we figured we covered this in the last AmA as well. Like, this is something that's being more or less constantly being worked on, but difficulty being to actually implemented, right?
Yeah, basically, spectator mode is it's a really difficult development process that we're still we can't really confirm whether it's coming or not. It's something that's always around, but we haven't quite figured it out yet.
Okay. Nice.
But yeah, it's there's developmental reasons behind it so far, for now.
Alrighty.
So I see a question that's about the so from Little John, will there be more than one biggish update? So obviously our update schedule is kind of we look to have a a big-ish size update every 3 to 4 months, depending on the obviously timings and things like that, and obviously unforeseen circumstances. But our like content plan generally consists of like a good sized update every 3 to 4 months.
Okay, nice. So I guess we will like in terms of the next AMA, there was also what Little John was asking. As it has been in the past, I think we were always having these AMAs once a bigger update hit.
Yep.
Like just 1 or 2 weeks after the release of an update. Like we're coming together on the Discord, on the not the Discord, but the on this Twitch channel, just to answer your questions regarding everything that new that has been released to the game.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess that's what we can, what we can say.
Yeah, for sure. We
well.
can have another like one of these kind of sessions after the next big update for sure.
Yeah. Sweet.
And so, Brioche isn't leaving. He's just moving to do like other things with within the company. So, he's not going anywhere. He's still going to be around. You can still bother him whenever you want.
Yeah.
I'm sure he won't mind.
But yeah, so he was addressing specifically the beta testing server. Will you be managing that, or is that a thing that Brioche is doing then?
No, I will be taking over that kind of things. So
yeah, very nice.
Once I get up to speed and everything, I'm still settling in. I've only been here less than a month.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I mean, you have to get like acquainted with everything, with the situation, with the game, and I guess that is totally understandable. Little John, a few weeks means just an info about the next clan and then next few to out. I guess he means release, or a few weeks to info and release.
So a few weeks means there will be more information about the new clan in a couple of weeks. It's not the release.
Okay, yeah. Gimeke is asking if Shiro Games is hiring an accountant. He's getting his bachelor degree.
Not at the moment, but we are hiring programmers and game designers. Don't know if you've seen the tweet. So any programmers out there or any game designers, then get your applications in. Now's the time.
Or I guess, Gimeke, you have to just switch your bachelor to a Bachelor of Science in whatever, like game design or something like that is needed. All right. What is your favorite clan, Alethleon?
So at the moment, as I'm getting back up to speed with the game, I'm actually playing. So I'm playing a lot of Wolf at the moment. But I've tried most of them. But I don't know. I kind of like the way Wolf is.
Yeah, Wolf's pretty cool. I mean, I personally, I like to play Stag. I loved Stag when the silo build was OP. I mean, the silo build is still pretty good, but it's nowhere near the former glory it had back in the day, where you could build the silos pretty much everywhere. But yeah, still a Stag main. Oh, and I have the Stag shirt on today because I am prepared and I'm wearing Northgard merch, not Path of Exile.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's the Path of Exile 5-year anniversary, so
I guess that is a reason to wear that too. You have all the other Northgard stuff in the background.
Yeah, didn't want to overload everything. I thought I might blend in too much if I.
Yeah, you would be totally invisible if
exactly.
If you were, yeah. Cool. Can we get an option to fight 5 versus 3, etc.? Basically, to put more than 4 people in one team.
It's something that we are looking into, but it's obviously it's just it's not actually like a development. It's not developed at all. But it's something that we have looked into in the past.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, I guess technically you can just make uneven teams just up to 4, not 5.
Yeah.
Where did I get that shirt? I got it in the Spreadshirt shop of Shiro Games. I don't know if that's an international website yet, but at the time where I was where I was buying that T-shirt, it was only French, and I had to kind of use Google Translate to make that work. Do you happen to have a link of that? Maybe.
I think it's actually linked on the Reddit now potentially. But I don't have a link to hand, actually. I'm not prepared.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I guess. We will drop that into the Discord later then.
Yes, for sure.
That's the thing that we can do.
That's some really cool stuff in the shop, too. So
that is definitely true, yeah. But I got the boring stack shirt because I'm a stack main, and, you know. But I like the, what's it called, the Vetterfolnir thing and the worm, which name I forgot. But yeah, that was pretty cool too.
Mm-hmm.
I saw something as well. If you get to beta, wait, what? Oh. I guess if you get to beta, you will be there forever. I guess the thing he's asking is, if the new beta starts, do you have to apply every time again, or if you are in that group of beta testers, will you stay there just like forever until I don't know?
You'll stay in it. Yeah, you won't need to constantly reapply.
So, one apply once and then you'll be there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, yeah, I think we're almost done then.
Yeah, unless anyone else has any other questions. I mean, I think we've covered quite a lot, so...
Yeah, I think we covered quite a lot. But yeah, as I said before, I think we got through this quite fast, to be honest. Because like we had, I think, 73 questions, and yeah, I just saw the potential of like if we were talking about every question for a certain amount of time, we would be like sitting here for hours. But yeah, 1.5 hours is top speed, I think.
Yeah, I think a lot of the questions were. There was a few that were fairly similar, so they kind of all rolled into one, so cut down on the amount. But yeah, we definitely did it in fairly decent time. But
El Diablo asked another question: will there be a better way to communicate with devs about the issues other than Discord?
I mean, you can always send if you're not getting a response on Discord, you can always send us like messages on Facebook and Twitter. That they're always monitored. So I mean, you can get in touch with us that way. But so yeah, I can like obviously if you can't get in touch with us on Discord or you don't want to go through Discord, then I mean you can always like send a private message to myself on Discord, or you can. Facebook and Twitter is perfectly fine as well.
Cool. Yeah, that sounds very nice.
Yes, Little John, you can spam me with whatever you want. Can't guarantee I will read all of your memes, but I will read everything important.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, a bug reporter in game would be nice. So like a way for you to basically send the bug report in game instead of like using a different approach.
Yeah, that's a good suggestion. I'll pass that along to the development guys for sure. Actually, that's a really good suggestion.
Okay. What about the gold mine? Same as iron ore stone rather. Gold you can use in trials or on market to buy things. I don't know what trials mean in that regard. But I mean, I guess it would be just another ore resource like gold, where you'll be able to buy that, like trade that into other resources, I guess, in the market.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, obviously there's no. That's an interesting suggestion. Like so.
Like coming with the dragon clan, that would be very cool. Like if you had like dragons guarding some sort of pile of gold and shit, that would be cool. But yeah, that's just me wandering off. Have you seen the community grow after Ragnarok has been released?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like the community is definitely continue to grow, and Ragnarok was a huge boost in community interaction across like the social channels, but also definitely in game as well. There was a lot more players playing after Ragnarok launched, and I think the peak was like. I think it almost got back up to where it was on launch, on like concurrent players. So definitely was a huge boost in interaction from the community.
Cool. In my opinion, just keep the game as it is. Don't let people create some kind of hacks. Let he keep simple and beautiful. Yeah, yes, he likes the game.
That's exactly what we want to do. We want to keep the heart of what we think makes Northgard.
Yeah. Little John, I think, didn't we answer that question already? Like, how many people from Shiro Games work around Northgard still, in numbers or percent? Didn't you say 10 or something?
Yeah, so the original 10 developers are still with Northgard, so the team size is not really changed when it comes to the core development team.
Yeah, I guess that's that then. Yeah, I guess that. I think we can conclude this AMA right here then.
Yeah, if there's no further questions, then I think it's all good.
Oh, there's a question for Brioche actually. If he thinks if he can, you can. That's a good one. I like that.
Don't worry, I paid him to say
that. I'm sure he can.
I hope so. Big shoes to fill, but I'm sure I'll do my best.
Yeah. Oh, I guess if there's any tournaments planned, and I think we are in a planning phase for something on the Discord. Yeah, we're not exactly sure how we will get in touch with Shiro Games about that, but there is tournaments that are going to be held at some point. But we don't really have more information on that yet. Cool. Yeah, I guess we can conclude that here now.
Perfect. And obviously, if anyone has any questions or anything like that, then Discord is where you want to go. So.
Oh, actually, I have been asked one question that I almost forgot. One single question in the the AMA was directed at me, and it was what my favorite streamer is. If I guess it was related to Northgard, and obviously my favorite and the best Northgard streamer out there is just the Crazy Dentist. Close to that though, there are a few guys that I enjoyed watching as well. And that was Guckyman, who is sadly not longer streaming, or at least not that I'm aware of. But they're like pretty much everyone that is streaming Northgard is amazing. And every now and then I obviously turn into a lot of streams. I don't necessarily say anything, but I'll be watching.
Yeah, we totally love all the streamers here.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I guess that's that then. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. And yeah, I guess we'll see you on the Discord. And yeah, we will drop a full transcript of what we said today, which is a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, that could take a while. But I hope this time the video will actually be saved, so we will have better reference to what we said. I tested it before, so I hope this works this time. But yeah, guys, see you. Thanks for watching, and yeah, have a good one.
Thanks. Bye.